there was no deliberate shift in direction or anything. It felt like a very natural thing for me to just try and learn how to make new types of sounds, and I kind of would have gotten very bored if we tried to make, sort of the same album again.
Yeah.
Wow, that's beautiful. I think the main reason that anyone should try and make an album is in order to progress, in order to learn new ways of making sound and new ways of expressing, feelings and whatever else. I think the beginnings of a song can be personal, but unless you try and, almost surpass that, then there's no reason for it to exist. I think the whole reason to kind of create music is to almost lift yourself out of a rut, or of a sense of longing or yearning or anything, or something that's quite heavy, Yeah, I felt like we had I felt like we sort of had a little factory going on when we were in the studio in Donegal. We had toured for a good part of 2 years with the first album, and I felt like we were such a strong musical unit that it was almost would have been ridiculous for me to try and record this one on my own, because we'd sort of built up a certain level of trust in terms of musicality and otherwise. All the dirt and the world. I think it was 6 weeks doing the chunk of the album, most of it. And then after that there was a few, bits and bobs to kind of finish up and change or whatever. And then when we finished the main recording, we decided to mix it ourselves as well. So it was myself and Tommy and the two of us just mixing together in the same studio that we'd been spending the last whatever amount of weeks recording. So it was pretty intense. But I think it's a better album for that. Instead of I wouldn't have been able to kind of give it to someone else to mix at that stage, because we had put so much work and I had such a strong idea how I wanted it to sound. Whereas with the first album, I remember I wasn't really sure how I wanted it to sound. I just knew I wanted it to be quite natural sounding, or whatever that means, natural. I don't even know what that means anymore. But yeah, to me it's quite a visual album. It's quite, a lot of the lyrics were just secondary. They were just they felt like they were there just to describe the picture of the music, if you know what I mean, rather than a starting point. A lot of the songs came from making musical landscapes with synthesizers or samples of things, because I felt like I couldn't really write a song on an acoustic guitar anymore. I wanted to have a title which was expressed a sort of naivety and a sort of a childish idea of freedom, and so I kind of wanted a word which was a made up word and didn't actually exist. I don't really have any like hopes for what people think of it. I think it's more. I mean, I guess the most I could hope is that somebody enjoys it and it means something to somebody. Because I'd probably feel totally mad if it didn't mean something, at least to a few people, because it means quite a lot to me. So, but beyond that, I don't really.